Hello, everyone, and welcome back to episode 2 of our outlooks for the 2025 MLB season. Episode 1, we did the Diamondbacks, and now we are at episode 2 where we are looking at the Atlanta Braves. In my opinion, the Atlanta Braves had a relatively kind of quiet offseason. It was headlined by one major move. We'll get to that shortly. But let's just take a look at how they finished. Last year they finished 89-73. They finished tied with the Mets in that final. We had a final 2-game set where both teams clinched a playoff spot. So moving on to what the Braves lost. The Braves lost a lot of key pieces. The biggest one, Max Fried. He goes 8 years, $218 million to the New York Yankees. Travis d'Arnaud, a veteran catcher that was on the Braves for a while. 2 years, $12 million to go to the Angels. Charlie Martin, a veteran starter. 1 year, $15 million to go to Baltimore. They were able to re-sign Aaron Bummer, a key piece of a bullpen that I think had a lot of key losses. We'll get to those in a second. 2 years, $13 million, Aaron Bummer returns. That's huge for them. They lost some bench guys. Ramon Laureano, 1 year, $4 million to the Baltimore Orioles. Gio Urshela goes to the newly Sacramento, or just the Athletics, that is. 1 year, $2.15 million for him. Cavan Biggio, minor league deal. John Brebbia, a key piece of the bullpen. 1 year, $2.75 to go to Detroit. AJ Minter, this is the big one. 2 years, $22 million to go to the rival New York Mets. So that is a key loss for the Atlanta Braves bullpen. They lose Luke Jackson. He gets a 1 year minor league deal. Tyler Matzek, minor league deal to go to the Yankees. Jesse Chavez, minor league deal to go to the Rangers. So my key takeaway for this Atlanta Braves team is they lost a lot of bullpen pieces that could be very relevant for other teams, especially AJ Minter going to the New York Mets. And we can't forget as well Max Fried going to the Yankees. So that is a top of the rotation guy leaving Atlanta. As we move down to their projected opening day lineup, here's what they have going on. Michael Harris II will be batting leadoff, playing center. Their big addition, Jurickson Profar, which we'll get to a second, batting second. Austin Riley, their power-hitting third baseman, projected a 4.6 WAR, by the way, via Fangraphs. He will be batting third. Matt Olson fourth. Marcelo Zuna fifth. Ozzie Albies sixth. Sean Murphy will be batting seventh. Jared Kelenic will be batting eighth, and Orlando Arcia ninth. So let's get into Jurickson Profar and why I think he could be one of the most underrated offseason additions that the Braves could have made. So when I look at this Jurickson Profar signing, 3 years, $42 million running through 2027, Profar was a guy I wasn't really sure where he was going to go. I honestly thought the Padres would have tried to re-sign him. The Padres we'll get to in a later video. I also thought had a very quiet offseason that could have been better. Jurickson Profar, however, going to the Braves wasn't unexpected because we all know they are going to be minus Ronald Acuna Jr. for at least a month, it looks like, for this regular season. And the outfield right now is him, Michael Harris, and Jared Kelenic. So Profar adding to that outfield is going to make it much better without Acuna Jr. Now, here's the thing. Once Acuna Jr. comes back, it's going to be Acuna Jr., Profar, and Harris II, which I really like that, and I think that's going to slide Jared Kelenic out of the lineup. Now, when I look at projections for Jurickson Profar this year, they have him at a 258 batting average compared to his 280 average last year. They have his OBP going down from 380 to 351, slugging from 459 to 400, WOBA from 365 to 331, WRC plus from 139 to 111. The WAR is what kind of scares a lot of people here, 4.3 to a 1.7. So they see him going to the Braves being a less valuable asset for them. They also look at his home run totals, 24 down to 15. I'm not really worried about this, however. I said this in the Diamondbacks video. These projections, they're very subjective. You can do your own math. If you think he's going to be good, think he's going to be bad, it's just a tool to use for fans getting ready for baseball. Jurickson Profar is currently 31 years old, so that might have to do something with it, and he will be 32 by opening day. So this is a solid veteran with 10 plus years of service time that the Braves are adding to what can be a very young outfield. I consider still Ronald Acuna Jr. a young star, even though he has an MVP. Michael Harris II, of course, a young star. This is a veteran asset to add to a Braves team that I honestly thought finished short of where they wanted to be. This Braves team, if they didn't lose Acuna Jr., probably could have finished better last year than what they did. It wouldn't have come down to the last game of the season. So I think Jurickson Profar is a massive addition to add. So let's get into their bullpen and rotation next. Okay, so here we see their starting rotation projected. It's Chris Sale, the Cy Young winner in the National League. Reynaldo Lopez, who I think is one of the most underrated starters in the league. He can start, row in the bullpen. No matter what, he'll do it. Spencer Schwellenbach is right now slotted to be this number 3 starter, and if it wasn't for Paul Skeens, Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Churio, this guy would have been in Rookie of the Year conversations. Even Yamamoto, throw him in there as well, along with Imanaga. Grant Holmes, Ian Anderson, that rounds out the 5. Going down to their bullpen, This is kind of what scares me when you're losing out on AJ Minter, Tyler Matzik, all these guys, Luke Jackson, all of them leaving. You were able to bring back Aaron Bummer. That is big. You have Raisel Iglesias, who was there for last season, Pierce Johnson, Aaron Bummer, Dylan Lee, Daisbel Hernandez, Angel Perdomo, Buck Farmer, who is a non-roster invitee, so we'll see if he breaks Braves camp, and Anderson PR, who was a Rule 5 signing, so he will be there. Now, when I look at that bullpen, it has a lot of experience, especially from the Iglesiases, the Johnsons, the Bummers of the world, and Buck Farmer if he makes it. But then there's a lot of uncertainty, like Hernandez is there. We haven't seen much of PR. He has no major league experience. He's going to be there since he is a Rule 5 signing, so it's going to be intriguing to see what they do. And the biggest one, when I look at their rotation, it is going to be how are they going to deal with the loss, at least, of Spencer Strider. Who knows when he's going to be back? I would hope it is for the regular season, but right now it's projected he is not going to be in the rotation. He's probably going to miss some time. Spencer Strider's thing is he has not really been able to stay healthy. That was the thing with Max Fried, too, so it's going to be interesting to see how the Braves fight injuries, because honestly, the biggest enemy of the Atlanta Braves has been their injury issues. Ronald Acuna Jr. last year, Fried last year usually. You also have guys like Spencer Strider getting hurt. I'm hoping Chris Sale can stay healthy, because right now they have him projected at a 4.6 WAR and a 3.03 ERA. That is awesome for a guy like Chris Sale. And let's take a look at his page really quick. So looking at Chris Sale's page really quick before we go, his ERA last year was a 2.38. They have it going up to 3.03 on projection sites FGDC. Honestly, that makes a lot of sense for it to go up a little bit because Chris Sale is getting old. He is 35 years old. He'll be hitting 36-year-olds next season. Chris Sale winning the MVP last year, honestly, was the shocker for me. I did not expect that coming. I don't think a lot of fans saw it coming when Chris Sale went from Boston for Vaughn Grissom all the way to go down south to Atlanta, win a Cy Young at the age he is. And honestly, that just shows how good of a pitcher Chris Sale can be. Chris Sale possibly is a future Hall of Famer. He's a borderline Hall of Famer for a lot of people, probably Hall of Very Good for many. But honestly, I could see Chris Sale maybe trying to defend that Cy Young if it wasn't for other guys in the National League, like a Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Shota Imanaga, Paul Skeens. Who knows? People love Roki Sasaki so much, so we'll see what happens with Chris Sale. So there you have it. That's episode 2 of our going through every MLB team and their outlook for the 2025 season. I have a playlist that I'm going to throw all these in, so the Diamondbacks one is in there if you already missed it. The Braves one will be in there as well. I'm going to try to get these out daily for all 30 teams. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching. We are getting very close to 300 subscribers. I would love to hit that by the end of February as we turn over to March and the start of baseball season. It is almost here. I'm getting excited. I think everyone is. Thank you all for watching this video. It means a lot. Thank you as always, and I'll see you next time.